So RFK Jr., the guy who's in charge of our health services and has been saying that he knows more than scientists all these years, finally said something that I agree with. He said, I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me. Watch.
If you had a child today, would you vaccinate that child for measles?
For measles, probably for measles. What I would say is my opinions about vaccines are irrelevant. I have directed Jay Bhattacharya.
Sure. No, like I said, I don't want to.
So that everybody can make that decision. But I don't want to seem like I'm being evasive.
Yeah.
But I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me.
Right. No, I got that. And I'm not asking you to give them medical advice, but would you vaccinate your child for measles?
If I answer that question directly, that it will seem like I'm giving advice to other people, and I don't want to be doing that. I want people to make
but that's kind of your jurisdiction because CDC does give advice, right? I'm not trying to do it as a gotcha. It's just
So he dodges a question on whether people should get vaccinated for measles, even though measles is suddenly making a comeback in places where people aren't getting vaccinated. So he doesn't want to put his neck on the line because he's a nut job. Watch.
I am concerned about the fluoride issue. I've seen the benefits, having been a practicing dentist for 22 years. I just noticed this morning that the FDA brings action to remove ingestible fluoride prescription drug products for children from the market. And as I'm reading through this, I want to see some of these studies, but it says the best way to prevent cavities in children is by avoiding excessive sugar intake and good dental hygiene, obvious. Then it says, for the same reason that fluoride may kill bacteria on teeth, it may also kill intestinal bacteria important to children's health. I would tell you, you don't prevent cavities by fluoride killing the bacteria in the mouth. What it does is make the enamel more resistant to decay. So I want to see the studies on this and where we're headed with this. And I will tell you that if you are successful in banning fluoride, I noticed you congratulated Utah and Florida, I think, for banning it. That's up to them. They can do what they want. But we better put a lot more money into dental education because we're going to need a whole lot more dentists.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of fluoride too. And that was a Republican congressman, a guy who should be supporting him, who was like, dude, I was a dentist for 22 years. This is not a good idea. You're going to ruin everybody's teeth. But then again, hey, RFK Jr. is someone who says don't take medical advice from him.
You also promised Chairman Cassidy that the FDA would not change vaccine standards from, quote, historical norms. But what happened as soon as you were sworn in? You announced new standards for vaccine approvals that you proudly referred to in your own press release as a radical departure from current practice. And experts say that that departure will delay approvals. You also said specific to the measles vaccine that you support the measles vaccine, but you have consistently been undermining the measles vaccine. You told the public that the vaccine wanes very quickly. You went on the Dr. Phil show and said that the measles vaccine was never fully tested for safety. You said there's fetal debris in the measles vaccine. And this morning—
All true.
This morning in
Do you
front
want me to lie to the public?
That's not, none of that is, none of that.
Of course it's true.
None
Of course
none
it's
that
true,
is
Senator.
Secretary,
You're
none of that is true.
making your
And I will
problem. You
submit-
do not
I
know
will
what you're
submit-
talking
submit
about.
for the record.
Let's have a little bit of order so that you can get
Madam
your
Chair,
question and we
speaking.
can get
I didn't
this.
ask. I didn't ask for a response yet.
I
I'd
understand
like to
that.
lay out the predicate of my question before I'm interrupted by the witness. He should
Go
have some
ahead.
respect for this committee.
Do you want me to lie to the public? Well, you lied to Congress. That's what Senator Murphy was reminding him of right there. He said, you told us a bunch of things that you wouldn't do, and then you did it. And now you're causing skepticism with the measles vaccine. And he goes on.
The summation of everything that you have said to compromise people's faith in the measles vaccine in particular is contrary to what you said before this committee. You said you support the measles vaccine, but then you have laid out a set of facts that are contested, and I will submit information for the record from experts who contest what you've said about the vaccine. And the result is to undermine faith in the vaccine. It's kind of like saying, listen, I think you should swim in that lake, but the lake is probably toxic and there's probably a ton of snakes and alligators in that lake, but I think you should swim in it.
And there's Senator Murphy saying he's got the receipts to show that experts don't agree with what RFK Jr. is saying about these vaccines. And that's the problem, folks. We've got a guy who's running the Health and Human Services who's saying, don't listen to me when it comes to medical advice. But that's the whole point of Health and Human Services. You're supposed to tell us what to do. Should we get vaccinated for measles? Should we be having fluoride in the water so that it strengthens our teeth? Or should we not? Which way are we supposed to go? And the measles are making a comeback because the anti-vaxxers started to say, no, we don't think it's good. We shouldn't do it. And now it's coming back. It's coming back. And God forbid if we got another infectious disease, kind of like another pandemic of some sort to come about, he's going to just say, well, I don't know. I only work here. I only work here. Don't ask me. I don't know. You make your own choices. Vaccinate, don't vaccinate. Mask, don't mask. I don't care. I don't know. Because he doesn't want to put his neck on the line, because he knows that the anti-vaxxers are all supporters of his. So he doesn't want to go out and say, guys, you should get vaccinated. Because in his mind, whatever the thing is, it's up to the person. It's up to the person to make a decision. We live in a country with 330 million people. You can't just say it's up to the person to decide. All right, then it's up to the person to decide how fast they drive when they're on the freeway. It's up to the person to decide if they're angry, maybe they just shoot somebody. It's just up to the person. You can decide individually. No, we are a society. We need to have some rules. We need to have some guidance. And this guy's not willing to give any guidance. You saw the simple question: would you give your kids the measles vaccine? I don't want to say anything like that right now. You're trying to get me in a moment that I'll say it, and then what? People will take the shot and save lives? Is that the problem? We are in the twilight zone, folks, because the guy who's leading Health and Human Services is a nut job. And he's got a lot of nut jobs who believe him. And so conspiracy theories have now worked their way into the mainstream, into the center, and we have to deal with that. Now, there was a time before this administration where at least the people in charge were qualified, and there were scientists who actually were doing science. But now we've got a conspiracy theorist running the whole department, and they're just cutting things left and right, things that we need. The most recent one they came out with, they said they're going to cut funds for helping people with drug addictions. They're going to cut funds for that. They're cutting funds and they're firing people, and we're in the situation where the leadership has zero guidance. Hey, RFK Jr., should we sleep 8 hours a night, 10 hours a night? What's a good number? 10 hours, 8 hours, 5 hours? What's a good? I don't want to commit to. It's up to the individual. What for your health? No. That's why we have science. They're taking away money from research. They're going after universities. You understand? America is known for its research. It's known for its scientists. People come here from around the world to participate and create groundbreaking inventions and medical inventions and many, many things. And they're taking that money away. They're trying to dumb us down. And they're probably going to kill us with diseases that polio might come back. Polio might come back. Measles is coming back. But don't ask RFK Jr., because he'll tell you, don't ask me about medical advice. I wouldn't advise you to ask me about medical advice. That's like the manager of the restaurant being like, don't ask me about the food here. I don't want to give you an opinion on the food. It's your restaurant. What should I eat? Have an opinion. Talk to your scientists. Talk to your chefs. What should I eat? If nothing else, RFK Jr., at least if he had scientists underneath him that he listened to. And that's the problem. You see, folks, the problem with conspiracy theorists is that their ego doesn't allow them to maybe admit that they're wrong. And so they're right. And so the vaccines are bad, and the government's coming to get you, and the whole COVID was a big conspiracy, and Dr. Fauci was trying to get rich off of that. Bill Gates was trying to make more money off it. Bill Gates was already billionaire. Dr. Fauci is some dude that wears a blazer and just spent 40 years of his life trying to get ready for a pandemic. And it came, and he goes, guys, this is what we got to do. And then people like RFK Jr., oh, this guy is out to get you. Really? Really? You think everyone's out to get you? Well, that's a really sad way to live. But what's an even sadder way to live is that the people running the government right now are not at all qualified to run the positions that they run. You got RFK Jr. doing that. You got Linda McMahon running the Department of Education, calling AI A1. You've got Kirsty Noem running the Department of Homeland Security, dressing up in cosplay, thinking that she's a badass. It goes on and on. Kash Patel, FBI agent. Head of FBI. Tulsi Gabbard. This What's going on? We are in the movie Idiocracy, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the movie Idiocracy. Good luck to you. And hey, don't ask me medical advice, because I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I'm not sure. That's where you go, no, dude, there's a measles outbreak. Get your damn measles vaccines. That's what you're supposed to do. RFK Jr., if you've seen this video, that's what you're supposed to do. You don't avoid the question. It's your job. What should I eat at your restaurant? Tell me. Oh, God. I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I've got a YouTube page right here, Maz Jobrani. Take a look. Give it a follow. And laugh at some of the stuff I post, because I post comedy clips. And we need laughs. We need laughs right now. But don't ask me. Don't ask me advice on jokes. But watch the page and leave a comment. Let me know you came from TYT.